Okay, let's dive into this. You know, you probably think your dog licks you just because they love you, right? I mean, it's cute, but well, that's actually not the whole story. Not even close. Every single day, your dog is constantly trying to communicate with you. And honestly, that wet, slobbery tongue, it's literally one of their loudest messaging tools. So in today's explainer, we're going to break down the 5 real reasons your dog licks you. We're going to cover the whole shebang, from the incredibly sweet stuff to the frankly surprisingly weird reasons, all the way to the one specific behavior that absolutely warrants a trip to the vet.
So what does this all mean? Is it love or is it a warning? That is the ultimate question we're answering today. Because while one type of licking is just this absolutely heartwarming display of affection, another type is a serious warning sign that, unfortunately, most dog owners completely miss. In fact, a bit later on, for our 4th reason, we're going to reveal a crucial anxiety warning that might just completely change how you view your dog's behavior. But first things first, let's take a look at where this instinct actually begins.
To really understand licking, we've got to go right back to the beginning. Just picture a newborn puppy. Their eyes are still glued shut, they're completely vulnerable, and the very first thing that puppy does is lick its mother. Now, they don't do this for fun. They do it to survive. It's essentially their way of saying, hey, I'm here, I'm hungry, I need you. Fast forward to today, and your adult dog still carries that exact same biological instinct hardwired into their brain. When they lick your face, they aren't just being goofy. They're signaling that you are their family. You're their safe place. To your dog, you aren't just an owner. You are literally their entire world.
And you know, it actually goes even deeper than that. Adult dogs use licking as this profound display of respect within their family structure. So when you get that giant, slobbery kiss right on the cheek, it carries an immense amount of emotional weight. It literally translates to, I trust you with my life. It's this deep biological instinct that's evolved into basically the ultimate canine compliment.
Let's move on and see how this builds, because there's a completely different, maybe slightly less emotional reason your dog might be totally obsessed with licking you. And it really comes down to one mind-blowing number: 10,000. To put that into perspective, your dog's sense of smell is roughly 10,000 times stronger than yours. 10,000! They experience the world through their nose and mouth in ways we just can't even begin to comprehend.
Because of that superpower, and please don't take this personally, but to your dog, you're kinda literally a snack. Our human skin is just this absolute buffet of interesting flavors to them. You've got salt from your sweat, natural skin oils, lingering smells from whatever you just ate or touched. When you walk in the door after a long, sweaty workout at the gym, your dog doesn't just smell sweat. No, they smell a 5-star feast. That's exactly why they go extra crazy licking your hands or your face right after you've been eating too. So it's not always a deep emotional connection. Sometimes you just taste amazing. But hey, don't worry, they still love you. You're just also delicious.
Now, what's really interesting about this next part is how we actually play a role in all of this. This is the one that's going to make you go, oh no, wait, was that me? Just think back to the very first time your dog ever licked you. What did you do? You probably laughed, right? Maybe you said aw, or you gently, playfully pushed them away. Well, whatever you did, you gave them your full, undivided attention. And your dog's brain instantly made the connection: licking equals good things happening. Yep, you accidentally trained your dog to become an obsessive licking machine.
Which brings us to this massive psychological loophole in the canine brain. You might think that pushing your dog away or saying no, stop, would teach them to quit, right? Makes sense to us. But for a dog, any attention is good attention. A negative reaction is still a reaction. If they're bored and they want you to engage with them, they know for a fact that licking your face is going to get a response, 100% of the time. This is exactly why some dogs become such obsessive lickers. It isn't a defect in your dog. It's just because we taught them that this strategy works flawlessly every single time.
Okay, we need to pivot here for a second because we're arriving at the 4th reason, and this is the one I warned you about at the very beginning of our explainer, because sometimes licking is absolutely not cute. Sometimes it is a literal cry for help. Anxiety licking is a serious coping mechanism for dogs. When a dog feels scared, anxious, or just totally overwhelmed, the physical act of licking actually releases calming chemicals in their brain. It functions exactly like a human biting their fingernails or pacing back and forth when they're severely stressed out.
You really need to watch your dog carefully for these specific behavioral red flags. Like, is the licking suddenly happening during thunderstorms or when there are loud noises? Does it spike up when strangers visit the house? Or maybe when they've been left alone for a little too long? Pay very, very close attention if the licking seems obsessive, especially if they start licking inanimate objects, like the floors, the walls, or the couch, or if their overall body language just seems really restless and tense. If you're seeing these signs, guys, that is not love licking. That is severe stress, and it shouldn't be ignored. Seriously, if you see those red flags, please do not ignore them. Your dog isn't just being weird or quirky in those moments. They are communicating extreme distress in literally the only way they physically know how. They're looking right at you and saying, "I need help." Recognizing this difference, it's absolutely crucial. It's one of the most important responsibilities we have as pet parents.
So let's bring it back to the positive, because the fifth reason dogs lick is truly the deepest. Yes, your dog licks you because they love you, but they don't love the way humans love. So the crucial point is understanding this contrast. We humans, we say "I love you" with our words. It's very vocal. Dogs, however, they say it with their entire physical being. Their affection is entirely action-based.
When your dog walks up to you for a calm, affectionate lick, they're delivering some incredibly deep emotional messages. They're telling you, "You make me feel safe." They're saying, "I choose you." They're confirming, "This is where I belong." It really transcends simple affection. It's this beautiful display of absolute trust and loyalty. It's an unspoken bond that words really can't properly describe. And honestly, a dog's full-body demonstration of trust is way more powerful than any spoken "I love you" could ever be.
Now, as much as we cherish that affection, there are practical realities here. Sometimes the licking just crosses a line and it needs to be managed. You definitely should intervene and stop the behavior immediately if it's happening non-stop, every single minute. Or if your skin is actually getting irritated or red. Also, watch out if the dog's behavior feels frantic and aggressive rather than calm, or if they seem visibly distressed while doing it. These are all clear signs the behavior has moved from affectionate to problematic.
And this brilliantly illustrates the difference in how we should react. So how do we stop it without ruining our bond? Well, there's a massive difference between what we instinctively want to do and what actually works with dog psychology. The wrong way is pushing them away dramatically or yelling. Remember what we said earlier? To a dog, that's just a fun game of wrestling, and you're still giving them that attention they crave. The right way? Simply stand up, completely ignore them, and calmly redirect their energy to a toy or a treat.
It all boils down to this golden rule of canine psychology. Redirection and reward always wins. Always. Punishment simply does not work with dogs. It really just confuses them and damages their trust in you. Instead, you want to teach a positive no-lick command and make absolutely sure you heavily reward them when they display calm, relaxed behavior. You reward the peace and you completely ignore the chaos.
You know, the very fact that you're taking the time to learn these nuances of canine psychology through this explainer, that speaks volumes about you. By understanding the difference between a biological instinct, an accidental training loop, and a genuine cry for help, you are stepping up for your pet in a huge way. You are absolutely the kind of human your dog truly deserves.
So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. The next time your dog runs up to you and starts licking your face like you're made of chicken, don't just automatically assume, "Oh, how cute." Pause for a second and ask yourself, what are they really trying to tell me in this exact moment? Because that little tongue is speaking volumes, saying things your dog can never put into words. Keep listening, keep observing, and keep learning.